Good morning, everybody. So good to have you here this morning. So I guess you woke up and you turned on your news or your phone or your computers, and you realized, hey, there's something going on here, and it ain't normal. Okay, it's a what they call a power outage. This is what so it's a special presentation. I'm coming on live this morning. I hope you guys are well. I got to have my cup of coffee because it's kind of early for me. But I want to talk about this because the mainstream media doesn't cover things from a spiritual point of view. I'm not talking about a religious point of view. I'm talking about a spiritual point of view. In other words, what's really behind this spiritually as we look at end times prophecy and in these last days and these end times, what's really behind it? And that's what I want to talk about this morning. So I want to welcome you guys to come on this morning as we talk about this. And if you have any information on this power outage as we talk, as we go through this, I'm going to be with you for a few minutes. Looks like have a blessed day. Oh, okay. Good to have you, Falba. Welcome. As you gather information, if you'll put it in chat, and you have a blessed day too. As you put it in chat, I'll read it, and that way we can cycle it around our family as we come to these events from a spiritual point of view, and that's what this is all about. Now, I'm going to give you some news, what's really happening, but we want to talk about it from God's point of view, and that's why I'm here this morning. So I'm so glad that you guys are here with me. And I hope you're watching on davidhebner.tv. If you're not, go there and watch. But otherwise, I'm on a lot of different platforms here. Good to have you guys this morning. So what's happening? It's a power outage. So they call it, okay? But it's worldwide. This is not a normal event, or I wouldn't be coming on this morning. I believe there's something behind this, and this is why I am here with you right now. Because I feel like God spoke to me and said, David, I want you to go on and at least gather the people together so my people can have a conversation about this. Folks, this is important. I believe what you're witnessing right now is a beta test, okay? It's a test to see the response of people, to see how fast supposedly things could be fixed. Now, what's down? We've got the banks are down. We've got the hospitals. They're very concerned. Okay. As a matter of fact, if you turn on your computer this morning, if you've got I use Apple. Okay. I use Apple. But if you use anything other than Apple, this is probably what you're going to get. Let me know if that's back up and running. So most of the people that have Windows are going to wake up to something like this when you turn on your computer. Okay. And so what else is happening here? What else is happening is we've got airports that are closed all over the United States and probably all over the world. I haven't checked yet. But you can see it looks like the Sacramento or San Francisco. It looks like Las Vegas. So there's some major airports that are closed. Now, they may be opening up as we speak. But again, I don't think that's the issue. The issue is what's behind it. And a lot of flights are all messed up here. They've rerouted. They've got all kinds of issues, and the airports are, they're crowded. So, but what is the issue? The issue is from looking at it from a carnal point of view, from a worldly, in the physical. There's a company called CrowdStrike, okay? And supposedly because of them and what they do, they are down. And this has caused supposedly this worldwide power outage. But again, is that really, we got a whole room filling up here. It is now we know it's a power outage, but what's behind the power outage, folks? And this is something that you and I need to always look at as a skeptic, okay? because what's happening, Matthew 24, it talks about, as in the days of Noah, they'll be eating and drinking, they'll be marrying and carrying on. And this is when Jesus is going to come back. Well, guess what I'm hearing on the news? The news is I can't get to the wedding I'm supposed to go to. Oh, I'm supposed to be at my business meeting in, an hour and a half. In other words, they're continually eating and drinking and marrying, and nobody's paying any attention to really why this is going on. It's a glitch. Well, folks, let me ask you a question. Even if this gets up and running, which it probably will get back up and running, what happens if it's 20 times worse? And what happens when it doesn't get up and running? Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, so let's go to chat and see what everybody's saying here. All right, it says not a power out, it's a Microsoft Windows network. Okay, you're right. Okay, and let me clarify myself. When I say power outage and you say power, let's clarify this. We're used to thinking electricity, all right? Oh, you got a power, so I got no electricity. That's true, but power goes more than that. Power is authority. Power is control. When you lose control over something, you have lost your power. All right. Now, this is a Microsoft glitch. They've lost control over something. So therefore, they've lost power. Thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate that, that it's a Microsoft glitch. But folks, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The fact is, when something goes down, whether it's a Microsoft glitch, whether you have no electricity, whether the internet is out, it stops everything. You've lost connection. So life doesn't go on the way that we are used to it going on. And this is what I want to, talk about this morning. All right. So let's go back here to, let's see. Yeah, prophecy unfolding. Brenda says, global internet outage only affected Microsoft PC. Okay. All right. Ronald, good morning. Alan, Pennsylvania, no outage. Okay. It's good that Pennsylvania has no outage. Maybe because there's a bunch of Amish people up there. I don't know. I use Apple, but this is a total beta test. Hey, Corey, you're on to something, man. I'm calling it a beta test. Just like this thing we went through for the past 3-4 years, the sickness, I can't use certain words because there's censorship, because of the sickness, that was a beta test, okay? And the antidote to the sickness, that's a beta test. And by the way, I don't want to get off on something else, but real quick, you guys, I'm having the world premiere of Last Evangelist, episode 2, which deals with the vaccine and the all of the sickness and stuff. So if you get a chance, go to davidheavener.tv, sign up there. You can watch it. We're premiering it at 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. You can go in person or you can go virtually. I want to mention that. But it deals with this. It deals with the beta test. And this is what I want to talk about. I was on a flight from Los Angeles to back east about 3 weeks ago. Let me explain to you how these things work. So we take off, and I noticed a strange sound in the airplane. And I said, this is not right. Now, I won't even tell you what airlines it was, though I should, so you won't fly it. I'm going to tell you, it was Spirit, okay? And I said, and I thought to myself, this plane should not leave the ground. There's too many things going on here. Shaking, the wheels, as it's taken off, the daggone wheels sound like it's, nobody's put any oil on them for years. And I said, this plane should not leave the ground. Well, sure enough, we're in the air for about, 40 minutes. All of a sudden, the pilot comes on and he mumbles a few things. Okay. He didn't come out and say, ladies and gentlemen, we have an emergency. We have to do we have to return. He said, ladies and gentlemen, we going to turn around and go back to Los Angeles. And he hung up. And that was it. And I'm looking around. People are going, what did he say? And I thought, this is not good. If he comes back on and says something else, this isn't going to be good at all. Well, he did. About 10 minutes later, he comes back on. He says, we're going to be heading back to LA. And then the people, squirmed a little bit. Remember, they had already heard going back to Los Angeles, so it wasn't a shock. And then about 10 minutes later, he says, folks, we're just circling around Phoenix. We're just unloading a little bit of fuel here. Oh, I'm gone. This is it. All right, emergency landing. You only unload fuel for one reason. If you crash, you don't want any fuel so you don't blow up, right? But what I'm saying, he did it over a period of time to where everyone was getting a beta test. Each thing he said was a beta test so he could see how people would react. Do you follow what I'm saying? And he saw where people didn't react, so he said a little more. They reacted, but not very much. And this is what the Antichrist does in these last days. It's a beta test. Everything is small, but the next time, bam, you get hit harder. Just like the next time, don't think we're not going to have some event again, some sickness like we had. It's going to happen again, baby, but it's going to be harder and faster because the last time was a beta test. All right, let's go back to chat. I wanted to share that with you. If you guys had any beta test stories, I want to know. Let's see. Coming grid down. I just left work, the hospital. No network, no power outages. Okay. Let's see who else we have here. Jerry says CrowdStrike did this intentionally as a test run and timed it to be able to use the patch windows on Excuse 2. CrowdStrike didn't fully test the patches. Okay, interesting. And there'll be companies behind this beta test. And I'm not saying CrowdStrike is, but I'm just saying somebody's going to have to be. So CrowdStrike is a very powerful entity that controls a lot. And of course, the Antichrist uses entities to do the beta tests, folks. Again, this is to see human behavior. Do you understand? It's to see how we respond. And this is why we got to, okay, Corey says, how would an accident happen on that level? They work on things for months before release it. Yeah, exactly. Ronald says, trying to control that the internet while people are stuck in space. You know, there's a lot of people stuck in space, mostly Christians. They're brain dead. Ronald, stuck in space, outer space. Jay Bird says 1,000 flights canceled today. Okay, so we got a bunch of flights canceled. I'm hearing that 1,000 plus flights have been canceled today so far. No flights are canceled here. Okay, let's see here. Says Ron says I worked for an airline for 6 months while in school. I could not believe the demonic oppression while working there. What's going on in the airlines? Yeah, you think about it. Airports would be a good place for demons to conjugate, right? Because that's where everybody goes, just like hospitals. Okay, I don't want to get into that too much, but folks, listen, I wanted to talk about this beta test that they're doing. I feel like this is part, and this is why we as a spiritual beings need to be aware of this stuff, okay? We have the mind of Christ, we have knowledge. And if you say, David, I'm not a Christian, it's okay, because what I'm telling you is that even if you believe that, look, even if you believe your energy, and when you die, you're going to float back into whatever, think from an energy point of view. Think from a strategic point of view. Don't think from a, oh, well, this was an accident, right? An accident. Well, who said it was an accident? And who is this crowd, who is this CrowdStrike? I'd like to, matter of fact, somebody should investigate and see who they are. Okay, Diane says flights international are canceled here in Australia. This is the other thing, is that the mainstream media you cannot trust. There are things happening worldwide, I believe, we don't even know about. Just like Diane says in Australia, international flights are canceled. I have not heard that too much on mainstream media. I'm not saying they're not saying it, but let me tell you, Antichrist controls mainstream media, so you're not going to hear what's happening in other countries. And Diana, I'm assuming in Australia, you may not be hearing what's really happening where we are right here and other places, okay? Let's see. Corey says, Corey says, keep an eye on it. Okay, Diane says, yes, domestic flights are flying domestic within Australia. Um, okay. All right, guys, girls, listen, I want to talk to you about what you need to have when these things happen, because like I said, this is a beta test, and we need to have food and water, okay, medical supplies. But let me tell you the most important thing you need to have and I need to have. Let me show you right now. This is most important. It's a Bible. We need to have a Bible, okay? A physical Bible, because when all this stuff goes down, too many of us, and I'm guilty of this, we are guilty of turning to the internet or to our phone and try to get scripture, and that's just not the way to do it. What we need to do is get us a physical Bible, okay? A physical Bible, and so get that physical Bible. But I wanted to come on this morning to just be part of the family and bring you guys in, just so we can talk. You know, sometimes when these things happen, I feel like I'm lonely because all I'm hearing is news from a carnal point of view. And a lot of the news is not even true anyway. Okay. Or I don't trust a lot of the news. So I think it's important for us as a family to get together and talk about this. Folks, listen, if you'd like to see episode 1 of Last Evangelist, if you haven't seen it, this is about, I play a cop, and they bust underground churches. And the reason they do that is because of a virus. Okay, it's called Legalize Jesus. You can go to davidheavener.tv and watch this TV series, Last Evangelist, episode 1. Go to davidheavener.tv and sign up right now. The reason is because it's about censorship and deception of the Antichrist deep state government. And this is stuff we need to learn about. And I'm excited because just tomorrow night, we're releasing episode 2 of Last Evangelist. We've got the worldwide premiere, and you can go to davidheavener.tv and you can sign up. Just go virtually on there, or you can text the word chosen to 91999. But go sign up and you can come in person. We're going to be in Dayton, Ohio. So check it out. And that's the information right there in case anybody wants that. But anyway, the reason I want you to see this, it's about the vaccine. There's 2 kinds of people. The kind that either took it, they're suffering physically, medically, and the kind that wouldn't, and they can't buy or sell. These are things that's going to be happening in these last days, and I think very, very soon. Okay, I'm not a fear monger. Matter of fact, I tell people we are not fearful. We have no fear. We're children of God. So I don't have any fear, but we got to be educated and we got to see what's going on here. Do you understand what I'm saying? So go check that out. Let's see, what else would we have? Let's see. Yeah. So there's some media outlets that have been down. So this is the other thing, is that when this thing hits for real and hits hard, you're not going to be able to connect with certain people for 2 reasons. One is the media outlet, or the, let's say the social media platform you go to, whether it's Facebook, Tube, Twitter, TikTok, whatever. They may not be able to broadcast because they may not have the ability. They may not have the power, or they may be instructed not to. They may shut themselves down for a period of time. Corey says, love your channel. Very thankful for it. Thank you, Corey. God bless you. I appreciate it. If you guys do want to support my ministry, you can see down at the bottom, I've got some information. But if you'd like to go to davidheavener.tv/give, you can help keep me going. I appreciate that. It takes a lot of work to do everything that we do. And I want to invite you all on Sunday morning at 11 a.m. I do a sermon here on this channel, and also 7 p.m. Monday. Many of you know, and you come and you're part of the family, but there's some that I don't. I want to invite you. It's important, folks, for us to get together in these last days and educate each other and pray for each other and comfort each other and give each other the truth, because the Holy Spirit is the only one that carries the truth. Okay? It's a battle of good and evil. You have good, which is the Holy Spirit, and you got evil, which is the world, which is the Antichrist system. And we cannot let the Antichrist system ever dictate our mind to Christ. And that's why it's so important for us to be together. I appreciate you guys. Is there anything else you want to say? Anything important? We're rounding the corner here. Yeah, Ronald says they keep trying to isolate us. Yep, and that's the thing. Not only isolate us, but they want to divide us. Okay, look for division, folks, because division is also something that the Antichrist deep state tries to do. They want to separate, divide. So because when people are divided, they become weak. If you can get people off in sections, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, all right, once again, we've had a power outage. Actually, let me clarify that. It is a power outage because power means you've lost authority. Microsoft, it's a Microsoft, say they glitch. I don't like these words glitches because it sounds like temporary, not very, no, this is a company called CrowdStrike. And they if you have a Windows, this company controls all that, so they say. And if you have Windows, you're not going to see much. You're going to, and I think I showed you guys before, this is what you're going to see right here, that they're trying to, get it back up and running. If you're flying this morning, they got airports closed and they're rerouting flights. And then, of course, everything's all crowded, and hospitals, they say, have been affected to a certain extent, although that may be changed. Again, this is a beta. This is, they're going to try it, see what people's reactions are next time, a little bit more. We'll see what happens. But anyway, I love you guys. I appreciate you all. Thanks for being here. Spread the word around. Pass this around if you can. I love you guys, and thanks for being here this morning. I'll see you Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or I'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. in Dayton, Ohio. Go to davidhebner.tv, get those tickets. All right. Love you guys. Appreciate it.